Susan Wiant Brooks is an American politician and member of the Republican Party who has been a U.S. Representative for Indiana's 5th congressional district since 2013. The district includes most of northern Indianapolis, as well as many of the city's wealthy northern and eastern suburbs. Brooks previously served as the United States Attorney for the Southern District of Indiana from 2001 to 2007. She was a candidate to replace Mike Pence in the 2016 Indiana gubernatorial election after he withdrew from the race to be Donald Trump's running mate in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. However, Indiana Republicans went on to select Eric Holcomb, Indiana's current lieutenant governor and Pence's second-in-command during his administration. Early life, education, and early law career. Brooks was born to Robert and Marilyn Wiant in Fort Wayne, Indiana. She was raised in Fort Wayne and graduated from Homestead High School. She earned a BA from Miami University, Ohio, where she was a part of the sorority Alpha Omicron Pi, and her J.D. from the Indiana University Robert H. McKinney School of Law. She practiced criminal defense law from 1985 to 1997. Deputy Mayor of Indianapolis. She was appointed by Mayor Steve Goldsmith in 1998 to be deputy mayor. She monitored the police, fire, and emergency response activities. She focused on crime, the criminal justice system, and social welfare issues. She served on the following boards: Marion County Community Corrections, Indianapolis Downtown, Inc., Indianapolis Violence Reduction Partnership, Greater Indianapolis Progress Committee, Race Relations Leadership Network Committee, Indiana University, Purdue University at Indianapolis Board of Advisors, Marion County Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, United Way Strategic Planning Committee, Clarion Health's Community Plunge Steering Committee, Employers Against Domestic Violence Initiative. Ice Miller. After she was deputy mayor, she joined the Indianapolis-based law firm of Ice Miller in the Government Services Practice Group. In 1999, she was named Influential Woman of Indianapolis. That year, she also earned a spot on Indianapolis Business Journal's 40 Under 40 list in 1999. U.S. Attorney. In 2001, President George W. Bush appointed her as U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Indiana. She earned an advisory leadership role with two U.S. Attorneys General. She focused on mortgage fraud, gun violence, drug trafficking, gangs, child exploitation, and identity theft. In her first few weeks in office, she charged Dr. Randolph Leavitt of Indianapolis with illegally prescribing OxyContin. She said he was by far the biggest prescriber of the drug under Indiana's Medicaid program. In 2000, he prescribed 6 times more than the amount of Indiana's second highest prescriber of Oxy. She earned the Who's Who in Law in 2002, Super Lawyer from 2004 to 2008, and Indiana Lawyer Leadership in 2006. Ivy Tech Community College. In October 2007, she decided to resign her position as U.S. Attorney to become General Counsel and Senior Vice President for Workforce and Economic Development at the Ivy Tech Community College. According to the website, she is responsible for the leadership, direction and development of Ivy Tech's statewide strategies and programming in workforce development. She is an integral part of the state's strategic initiative to develop a trained workforce to attract and retain businesses in an effort to bolster the economic viability of the state. In 2007, she earned the Sagamore of the Wabash. In 2008, she earned the Touchstone Award and for the second time earned Influential Woman of Indianapolis. In 2011, she also earned from the second time the Who's Who in Law, U.S. House of Representatives. 2012 election when she was U.S. Attorney. Her Southern District covered two-thirds of Indiana, including the majority of the newly redrawn Indiana's 5th Congressional District. After 2011 redistricting, 15-term Republican U.S. Congressman Dan Burton decided to retire. Brooks entered a crowded seven-way primary, the real contest in this strongly Republican district. She had actually entered the race before Burton's retirement. New Jersey Governor and former U.S. Attorney Chris Christie and Austin fundraised for Brooks. In May 2012, she won the Republican primary with 30% of the vote, just 1 point ahead of the second-place finisher and former U.S. Congressman David McIntosh. With Brooks' election in November 2012, she became the second Republican woman elected to Congress from Indiana alongside Jackie Walorski and 6th overall. Brooks won the 2012 election, defeating Democrat Scott Reski with 58% of the vote. 2014 election. See also, Brooks's vote to end the October 2013 government shutdown led members of the Tea Party to support David Stockdale's campaign for her seat. In the primary election on May 6, Brooks defeated Stockdale and his fellow challenger, David Campbell, winning 73% of the vote. On November 4, Brooks won the general election with 65% of the vote, defeating Democrats Sean Denny and Libertarian John Crom. Committee assignments: Energy and Commerce Committee, Subcommittee on Health, Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations, Subcommittee on Commerce, Manufacturing and AMP Trade, Committee on Ethics, House Select Committee on the events surrounding the 2012 terrorist attack in Benghazi. Legislation. On July 29, 2015, Brooks introduced the Strengthening Public Health Emergency Response Act of 2015 H.R. 3299, bipartisan legislation that will dramatically transform and enhance the nation's ability to respond to current and emerging biothreats. This legislation reforms our nation's medical countermeasure acquisition process, incentivizes research to combat the next generation of deadly diseases, and increases accountability of preparedness spending. It is one of the legislative proposals highlighted by the bipartisan Blue Ribbon Panel study on biodefense as an important step towards shoring up our national security and preparedness for biothreats. On June 17, 2015, Brooks introduced the Heroin and Prescription Opioid Abuse Prevention, Education, and Enforcement Act of 2015 H.R. 2805, which targets several areas of need critical to reducing the number of painkiller and heroin overdose deaths each year. The legislation will establish a working group to develop new guidance and best practices for members of the medical community, reauthorize prescription drug monitoring programs critical to local law enforcement efforts, increase access to life-saving naloxone, and raise public, provider, and patient awareness of opioid drugs. It is the companion bill to S. 1134, legislation introduced by Senators Joe Donnelly and Kelly Ayotte in April 2015. On March 14, 2014, Brooks introduced the Social Media Working Group Act of 2014 H.R. 623,114th Congress, a bill that would direct the United States Secretary of Homeland Security to establish within the United States Department of Homeland Security a social media working group to provide guidance and best practices to the emergency preparedness and response community on the use of social media technologies before, during, and after a terrorist attack. This legislation was reintroduced in 2015 and became law in November 2015. On March 18, 2014, Wiant Brooks introduced the Cooperative and Small Employer Charity Pension Flexibility Act. The bill would allow some charities, schools, and volunteer organizations to remain exempt from pension plan rules under the Employee Retirement Income Security Act of 1974 and the Internal Revenue Code. Brooks argued that the bill was needed because some charities, schools and cooperatives are actually shutting down summer camps, cutting back on services to the community, or raising prices just to meet the pension obligations. The bill passed the House on March 24, 2014. On July 29, 2015, Brooks introduced, along with Wiant the Strengthening Public Health Emergency Response Act of 2015 H.R. 3299. The bill would streamline government decisions and provide incentives for vaccines and treatment of dangerous pathogens and diseases. Brooks sponsored the bill in response to a report released in October 2015 by the Blue Ribbon Study Panel on Biodefense. Personal life. She currently resides in Carmel with her husband, David, and the 2 children.